The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy. You're invited. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Blessings, brothers and sisters. I'm Elder Ricard of the Gathering of Christ Church here with our weekly Patreon update. Blessings to our brothers and sisters throughout the four corners of the earth, and all praises be to the Most High, the God of Israel. Ahaya, Ashah, Ahaya, in the name of Yeshua, through the Ruach, which is the Holy Spirit. How are you doing today? I hope you all are having a pleasant day, and I pray that you all have a blessed Sabbath. Okay, we have to cover a lot on this update today, all right? We're going to segue right over into Patreon in a moment. But before doing that, let me first say that, yes, we're going into week 6. We're going into week 6 of the Hebrew and Bible Academy, the Satanic connection. That's right. The Satanic connection between the Catholic Church and the Islamic faith. The breakdown on Islam. That's right. The breakdown on Islam. One moment.
All right, I'll be there soon now.
I'm broadcasting. All right.
All right. Bye.
All right. Sorry about that. There's a lot of things going on. We have to tie up before the sun go down, so I'm sorry about that. Yes, the Hebrew and Bible Academy. This week we're going to do the Satanic connection between Christianity and Islam. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, brothers and sisters. Spirits are flying all over the place to trying to slow things up. Lord, have mercy. All right, let's jump right into it. We will be going into this coming Sunday, the Satanic connection between Christianity and Islam. Okay? They're both satanic at its root. Okay? Islam is satanic at its root, and there's an elite power of demons who are worshipped within the Islamic faith as well as the Christian faith. And I'll be going over that, the truth about Islam, this coming Sunday. I'm going to also show the connection between the Roman Empire and Ishmaelites, the Arabs, who all colluded together to come against us and enslave our people to fulfill the curses written in Deuteronomy 28. they're both they're both are complicit and culpable, both of them. So I'm going to be going into that, the truth about Islam, this coming Sunday. I hope you all will be a part of it. For the brothers and sisters, I don't want you're in the academy. I want to make sure you get your stuff on time. I know we're planning the Passover at the same time, but I know there's a lot of things going on. But I want to make sure you get your email and all you need for the next 6 months. So make sure you tie up your business, all right, before Sunday, all right? I want to make sure you get your PDFs and everything going into the better part of the academy starting after week 6. So please get your business together so that you'll receive things and our administration aren't working overtime, with you all, some of you being late, okay? Now, also, outside of the academy, okay, a few people coming in. You can hit the like button. You can do that, even though we're going to segue over. You can hit the like button. Yes. The next thing in the academy I wanted to talk about is the fact that we're putting together a biblical chronology of all the books, something that have never happened before. You cannot find this any place in the earth, and we'll be giving that out week 8 of our Hebrew and Bible Academy. It's a special worksheet, study sheet, where you can read the Bible and the extra biblical books and chronology with the Bible. Okay, everything is lined up according to dates, everything. And a matter of fact, it's a piece for our school that we're actually copywriting, okay, so that if others want to take advantage of this and run into our charts of information, they'll get it specifically from our church, okay? This has never been done. And those in our Hebrew and Bible Academy, you will get that chart as part of the lesson we're sending out with week 8. And I would like to say thank you. All the work we do, putting these things together from a scholastic, a theologian standpoint, a scholarly standpoint, none of this could be possible if you didn't support our academy, all right? This is the Bible school above all Bible schools, okay? You cannot find this information broken down in the context, in the right narrative according to God in Christ, okay, at any seminary school. These seminary schools are set up to deceive our people, the theologian schools that were set up by Jesuits to keep us in the dark, okay? They were set up to teach us some things about Christ, but really it was to uphold the satanic, you got it, the satanic system, okay? And it was to keep the status quo until they would execute Order 66. And I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about that in our Patreon today. I have to smooth everything together here. We're going to also have the round table, the divide between man and woman, the round table discussion week 7. So you'll get that chart week 8, but before that, week 7, you got it, folks. We're going in round table discussion, pulling some people from Zoom, and we're going to have the discussion. We're going to have married couple, a single man, single woman, and we're going to find out what the dynamics are out there in the world that have led to such a divide between man and woman. Okay, we're going to have a discussion. It's going to be a tight discussion because we can't be there for hours, but to get to some resolve of how we've gotten here without pointing the fingers, and what must we do to come together before they execute the order. Okay, week 7, first time nothing like that have ever happened. We'll be dealing with that in the Hebrew and Bible Academy, and I hope you all are there. It doesn't matter if you didn't enroll as of yet. If you choose to be a part of our session, okay, because who knows how long they're going to allow us to speak freely, even on that platform. All right. I mean, we're breaking down all the lies in that academy, uncensored, unfiltered. That's why I love that above, as far as platforms, above any other platform we are allowed to be on right now, because it's one of the few places we can still speak freely without being what? Censored. Okay, so if you want to be a part of that, go to historytimes.org, enroll. We'll make sure you get all the past lessons, the news, the new updated Hebrew lessons 101 that Elder Lawyer has broken down. Very great work, along with the Bible studies we've taught to this present time. Okay, so you won't miss anything, but you will be in for a serious ride through the next week. Okay, we purposely put a lot of that other stuff on the back end, even though there's a lot of things going on that we've broken down in the front of the academy. We want to we want to go out with a bang with this academy, not knowing how long they're going to allow us to do this. So if it interests you, go to historytimes.org to enroll. All right. Now, real quick, I'll let you know what we'll be going into on Patreon. There will be an immediate opening of the phones, of the lines that will be, for the phone lines, an immediate opening of the phone line. So you see the number, get ready. I'm going to set that up on Blog Talk, and we're going to have a discussion today on our particular topic. Now, I'm going to talk about that topic and give y'all some insight of what the discussions will be today. But before I do that, let me also let you all see this. Absolutely beautiful. Here is the new cover for the Gathering of Christ Church's 2023 Heaven's Calendar. When I say Heaven's Calendar, that's right. The exact calculation of a year, including holy days, according to what was given to Enoch, Moses, the prophets, before Babylon and Rome came to switch everything into worshiping and acknowledging the moon for holy days. Okay, the moon is the lesser light. It follows the sun through portals. So you cannot keep time with the moon only. It's almost like keeping time, having a watch, or have a watch, one having a watch with one dial. Okay? So here is the new calendar. Run the race. Look how beautiful that is. Much work was put into this for you. And our theme this time here is going to be Run the Race that is set before you. And we dedicate this to our brother, our fallen soldier, our fallen saint, Dwayne. Okay. And I hope you all support this, not just to support, the family that we're going to make sure we look out for Dwayne, but also get in touch with the times and the schedules of the holy days according to God. Okay? The Sabbaths are in place as well as the holy days from year to year. This calendar, you cannot find this calendar anywhere on the earth. It's the original calendar that was given to us before the flood. Okay? The Most High put a spirit on us in the early to mid 2000s. And we began to go into the records to find this old calendar, and it's real. It's real, folks. 364 days, 52 weeks, according to an annual year. Everything else is a lie. Okay? Go to gatheringofchrist.org to pre-order your calendar. Okay? Right there. Okay? I've placed the link in the chat if you like to pre-order. Nothing like it. Wait till you see the pages within it. Now, wait till you see the calendar. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, it gets better. The themes are better. It gets better from year to year. Okay. Now, what will we be discussing? What will we be discussing? Excuse me. Over in Patreon, y'all might ask. Well, this is what we'll be discussing: the satanic confusion before the 666 order. Now, someone might ask, well, what is the 666 order? Okay. Well, great question. Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith. Well, the character that they have playing Satan in this particular scene executes an order. What order? Fair use.
The time has come. Execute Order 66.
What? Oh, what did he say? What did he say?
Has come.
The time has come. Hold up, let's get it again.
Commander Kelly. The time has come. Execute Order 66.
Execute Order 66. What is Order 66? Well, when we go over here to Order 66 and look it up here, Darth Sidious, we all know it's a character who's really Satan, okay, in the series or in the mini series of Star Wars. Check out Order 66, folks. Order 66 is also known as Clone Protocol 66, was a top secret order identifying all Jedi as traitors. Okay? So what they're doing is that they're trying to seek out those who could oppose the dark force. And we all know it's speaking of those who are in Christ, where there would be a galactic republic that would deem all those in the light or the true righteous opposers of evil as traitors. Therefore, subject to summary execution by the Grand Army of the Republic. The order was programmed into the Grand Army clone troopers through behavior modification biochips. Check this out. Behavior modification biochips implants implanted in their brains, making it almost impossible for the clones to disobey the command to turn against the Jedi generals. Check this out. Biochips placed in beings so that it would be impossible for them to disobey the command of Satan. I wonder if anything that happened between the last couple of years and getting people's bodies prepped for something has anything to do with this. I'll be talking about that on Patreon in a couple of moments. Thank you. Now, execute order Project 66. Well, in order for them to execute Project 66, they would have to put a political landscape in place that would slowly condition people into accepting their own demise. All right? So they would have to set up a political structure. And I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about how while we were asleep, our people, while the world slept, Skull and Bone.
An April night on the east coast of America. Life for a young man is about to change radically.
The Yale Skull and Bone, we're going to talk about that. How the Bushes and others were in place. Satanic agents. That's right, being utilized by demons to bring forth an order that would change the earth. The first order would be to turn the world, the Western world, into an atheistic, satanic hub. We must convince those in church or who believe in Christ to come in. We must invite them to the dark side by having them believe lukewarm is good enough. Once they're in the middle, it'll be nothing to drag them to the dark side, right? The Yale skull and bone oath is what we're going to be talking about on Patreon. That led to information of the Voynich manuscript of Yale University. The dark secrets that would allow government officials to utilize ancient plants to control the population after convincing Christians and others who would oppose evil to join the dark side. At the same time they were getting this ready, they were convincing Christians to go into the prosperity movement. Oh yeah, the plants. Your medical dispensaries that are set up throughout the United States were planned at that time under Skull and Bone, and I'm going to prove it. Not a conspiracy theory, allegedly. What you think you're getting is marijuana in these dispensaries isn't marijuana. It's something else. It's turning the nature of man into mere beast. Dumbing down people so that you can do what? Be dependent on the state and eventually be controlled once they execute the order. Oh yeah, we got some good stuff for y'all today. We have some good stuff for you today. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Now, those who can see, according to God, have nothing to fear. Have nothing to fear at all. Okay, I have to go over there because I know our Patreon people, we missed you for a week. You was there waiting for us, so I'm going to make this twice of an impact when it comes to information for today. For those who missed last week, I didn't forget my loyal Patreon members now, okay? But you know what? I have to leave it out there for our loyal YouTube subscribers too, so that they can at least get some food before we transition. 2 Baruch 28. There's nothing for us to fear when it comes to this order, because only the ignorant and the unbelievers will be taken into the order. Baruch reads this in the pseudepigrapha of the Old Testament, Oxford translation from R.H. Charles. More of our records controlled through their universities, mind you. Nevertheless, I'm right here, brothers and sisters, so y'all know where I am. I'm reading right here. Nevertheless, who are upon the earth in those days? This is the consummation of the times. Nevertheless, whosoever understandeth shall be wise, for the measure and the reckoning of the time are 2 parts a week of 7 weeks. Okay, that's 49 weeks. 2 parts a week for 7 weeks. 7 weeks is 49 weeks. 49 plus 1 is 50, so this is the last Jubilee. They would use the last Jubilee to execute the order at the end of 50 years. And we're near the end of it, brothers and sisters. And I answered and said, it is good for a man to come and behold, but it is better that he should not come, lest he fall. So the Most High showed Baruch these days, and Baruch says, it's good to know what's going to happen. But it's better off if we weren't even here, lest we get tempted and fall with the ignorant. But I will say this also. I will say this also, will who is incorruptible despise those which are corruptible? And whatever befalls the earth, whatever befalls the earth, hold on. But if the Lord, those things shall I assuredly come to pass which thou hast foretold to me. Do thou show also unto me, indeed I have found grace in thy sight. Is it in one place or in one of the parts of the earth that those things are come to pass? Or will the whole earth experience them? So Baruch is asking the Most High, will this happen in one place of the earth, or will the whole earth feel and experience this? And he said unto me, whatever will befall the whole earth, whatever will befall the whole earth. The whole earth will go through this. The whole earth. Therefore, all who live will experience them. For at that time I will protect only those who are found in those selfsame days in this land. And it shall come to pass when all has accomplished. Listen to this clearly. All that's accomplished. That was to come to pass in that parts, the Messiah shall then begin to be revealed. And Behemoth shall be revealed from his place. Leviathan shall ascend from the sea. That's like your Godzilla. And those two great monsters which I created on the 5th day of creation, and shall have kept until the times. And then they shall be for food for all that are left, and the earth shall yield its fruit 10,000 on earth. Now listen to this. Right before that, it states, listen to this clearly. What will we experience? What will lead to the order? The chaos. Well, when we read 2nd Baruch, the 27th chapter, it states, and he answered and said unto me, into 12 parts is that time divided. And each of them is reserved that which is appointed for it. I'll blow it up for you. In the first part, there shall be the beginning of commotions. We'll hear about wars and all that, when really it's the agents of Satan behind these wars, moving the earth into an order without people understanding exactly what's going on prophetically. And in the second part, there shall be slayings of the great ones. We're going to hear about a lot of great people dying on a regular basis, to a degree in which a lot of us will become desensitized. We're going to get used to just hearing about sudden deaths of those people we revered or respected out of nowhere. Sounds familiar? And it says here, the slayings of the great ones. The third part, the fall of many by death. I think we've gone through that and realized that's part of an order, actually, and I'm going to go into that on Patreon. And the fourth part, the sending of the sword. We're going to hear about the Western world powers sending troops to war all over the earth. Sounds familiar? More. And in the fifth part, famine, a lack of bread, the withholding of rain. And in the sixth part, earthquakes and terrors. Earthquakes and terrors. And in the eighth part, a multitude of specters and attacks of the Shadim. demonic attacks, mental health, people with mental issues. Okay, this isn't talking about bipolar, as they try to put medical terms on this, folks. This delusions or dysfunctions back in ancient times were labeled by those who understood as demonic possession. They have used the medical terms to hide the fact that the people, that's right, all of us are being attacked by demons. So trauma usually trauma or some type of abuse usually opens a door for demons to come in. I digress. So there is no such thing as mental health issues and all those things. It's the attacks of the specters in the Shadims. Trauma leading to an entry for demonic possession. Sin is also an entry for the attacks of the specters in the Shadims. Also, following ancient Eastern religions is opening your mind or your chakra or your temple for ancient demons. All right, the 11th part, wickedness and unchastity. Wickedness and unchastity. Unchastity means what? No longer would people keep their chastity. Okay? And the way you do that is push feminism and make it where body count doesn't matter. Okay, so now there's nothing sacred. There's nothing wholesome to fight or defend a family for. Weaken the family. And in the 10th part, confusion from the mingling together of all things aforetold. So you'll see some parts come and then it'll fade out. Other parts come and fade out. But what are the people sleeping on? What are the people sleeping on? Because when all these things are happening, obviously the world becomes confused. And in the 12th part at the very end, confusion from the mingling together of all those things aforesaid, for those parts of that time are reserved, shall be mingled one with another and minister one to another. For some shall leave out some of their own and receive in its stead from others, and some complete their own and that of others. So you'll hear earthquakes, demon possession, then, no, not demon possessions, rain, floods, demon possessions, unchastity, OnlyFans, Instagram, earthquakes, then you'll hear war. It'll be so confusing to people that what? For some complete their own, that of others, so that those may not understand who are upon the earth in those days, that this is the consummation of the times. So much confusion in the earth, the majority of people are not even going to realize they're living at the end of the world. Consummation of times is the end of the world. Most people are not even going to take heed to know. There's so much confusion around, they're going to believe that this is just how life has always been. No. But those in the dark side, the elite powers who are behind pushing all this, that's right, they are the illuminate ones who see in the dark like an owl. They're causing the confusion. Why? Because throughout the smoke of the confusion, they can actually attack and kill the target race they're aiming to get rid of. our people, the chosen people of God. So they use the darkness as a cover. The earthquakes and all that. They'll go in the midst of an earthquake and go find children in Haiti that they can actually, that's right, through the trauma, utilize for their political systems going forward. Everything we're mentioning, the evildoers utilize this. They utilize demonology, witchcraft, drugs, everything as a cloud of smoke for what? The order. And it's so confusing for those who don't read the Bible and don't understand that you're not even going to understand that you're at the end of the world. That's what it says. That's what Baruch told us. You're not even going to understand. There's a reckoning coming. There's a judgment coming. And I'm glad the Most High gave us that calendar, put us right on time, and above all, gave us the law, which came through 4 gates from heaven. Because without the Bible, without God, there's no way in the midst of this confusion, any of us would be able to make sense of it. So that would lead to what? That would lead to perilous times. That would lead to perilous times. Godliness in the last days. This is what it would lead to. And folks, all of the godliness we're seeing was systematically, incrementally implemented. The behaviors and everything we see today, this was all planned from the dark side. It was all planned. But only the righteous can sit back and not what? Be taken in it. To realize exactly what it is. So we must step away from sin. They're going to promote sin as something, what? Something to be celebrated. Oh yeah, let's join the letter group. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's go on girls' trips. Let's do this. Let's do that. They're going to always make it seem as if it's something fun. Something innocent. But what are they drawing us into? This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lover of pleasures more than lovers of God. 2 Timothy's I'm reading from. Having a form of godliness, but denying the power which is our God thereof. From such turn away. From such turn away. Folks, that's 2 Baruch in a nutshell. We're living in perilous times. And soon, very soon, they'll be executing what? Fair use.
Has come. Execute. The time has come. Execute Order 66.
Execute Order 666. They were telling us the whole time that the chaos and the confusion and the whole thing is they created the chaos and the confusion for what? For their order. They need the confusion. So in order for them to do this, they must keep the world's population off balance. Off balance. Every day you must hear tragedy. You must hear negativity. You must hear something that takes you from your spiritual equilibrium. That's on purpose. They're keeping us off balance on purpose. So the only resolve we have in this is to stand on the rock. That's Christ, that foundation. Or you're going to find yourself being tossed to and fro. We must stand on the rock. So this is what we're going to be talking about today. How are they keeping our society off balance? Well, we have an Asian woman who's going to testify that she knows that Asians are used as a proxy for the European powers to attack black people. We're going to have that today. First thing, Patreon. Then we're going to move over to the fact that they are purposely evicting our people to replace them with immigrants so that they can create an infighting amongst blacks and the immigrants. That's their plan. More. LBGT renters and vouchers. Unless you say that you are from the sinful letter people, you will not have housing. You must join the new minority to get minority benefits. And that's going to cause much poverty and more crime within the community. Next, we're going to talk about, that's right, a British MP give us some information on what will happen in Great Britain based on the stuff they've been mandating out there. I can't talk about it on YouTube, but we'll talk about it over on Patreon. Also, we're going to go into the fact that, I don't want to see this today. Someone from Britain says that they have a plan in the UK when it comes to if there's another pandemic. Will there be another pandemic? Well, we don't know, but we're going to see what Bill Gates has to say, okay, on what's coming next. Patreon. Oh, yeah, I told you I got something for y'all today on Patreon. And then we're going into another organization that has affiliation with Bill Gates, the Johns Hopkins School of Public Health. You see that? What do they have? What are they talking about? What are they talking about right now that should be published throughout the earth? Okay. Now, of course, we don't know what happened to the brother Hamlin, the football player that went down, but I don't know if that's connected to something, right? Something that maybe we told people not to deal with, right? I don't know, but I know that they're using the story and they're keeping that story on the front pages of everything. But usually when they use a story, they're covering other things we should know about. Because they don't care about black people like that, folks. So usually if they keep a story continually as the only thing going on, they're covering for what you should be really understanding or looking at. It's about keeping us off balance. But hey, you don't have to worry about that with Watchmen at the tower. No matter what they try, we will be here to show you exactly what they're planning. With that, I'll see you tomorrow. At the Sabbath. We have a great lesson tomorrow. All right. And it's time for us to roll with our Patreon people. Right? It's time to roll with our Patreon people at 2 p.m. We're going to be on the phone calls. We're going to start with the story where an Asian woman comes straight out and say, we know we're being used for war against black people. And on top of that, they used it as a cover. They brought us in and they brought Chinese people in or Asian people in who didn't even realize that they were actually marginalized and actually put in internment camps in World War II. So they brought in ignorant Asian people who had no knowledge of how they were suffering in America before they were brought here to become what? Social enemies for the black community. They strategically told these Asian people, you cannot have businesses in these areas. You must go into the black community if you want to survive with businesses so that they can siphon money out of us. Folks. And she spilled all the beans. Asian woman spilled all the beans. And she says, really, it's to cover up what they did to us in World War II within American borders. But the only thing we hear about in World War II is what was going on over in Germany and in Great Britain and Europe during that war. We don't hear about what they did to us and the Asians within America during World War II. You notice that? So what they're doing is they're pitting off other nations and our own family, our people. The 10 tribes, they're bringing them over too. To do what? To ferment a proxy war, to ferment an internal civil war amongst all these different races they're putting in this melting pot all at once. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, folks. I got to go. We must go over to Patreon. May the Most High be with you. Let's go. The satanic confusion before 666 is what we'll talk about. I'll see you on Patreon. Patreon forward slash. Matter of fact, let me put it here in the chat. I'll type it here. Patreon / A Gathering 144. That's how you get in our Patreon. And before I go, let me put this out there for those who are seeking to attend the Passover. Make sure if you went before us and booked things, I'm not talking about the Atlanta thing or whatever the case is, because we may or may not be there. It's still fluid. It's tentative on where we'll be, okay? All right, so because of that, please, if you've booked tickets, plane tickets or anything, hotel tickets, make sure when you book these things, you should do this anyway. You should make sure there's insurance in case rain dates or cancellation. Always have something in place in case something goes wrong. So make sure if you book tickets to any event, you make sure there's insurance on your tickets in case you have to cancel. That's hotels or planes. Because I don't want no one coming down on me and saying, well, Elder, you said it was going to be here, but I already got my family over there. Well, listen, this thing have become bigger than all of us. And the places that we used to have can no longer hold our members. And everyone should be at that Passover. So no one should be left out. All right. So the numbers spoke to us, and look, the place we could have held, couldn't hold even half of the people who are attending the Passover. So we had to make a move. It's fluid. We're working right now. We almost have something nailed down. By next Friday or Saturday, not this Friday or Saturday, next Friday or Saturday, you should be hearing something. But make sure if you book something or you plan to book something or you went before us, I hope you had cancellation insurance or whatever on your bookings. Huh? Yeah. And to make sure that your tickets are refundable. Whatever you book, always make sure if you're going to shows or whatever the case is, you have to make sure it only costs a few extra dollars to make sure your tickets are insured or refundable. Always have that when you're booking something, because whatever can go wrong, sometimes do go wrong. Always have that when you book things, okay? Make sure that your tickets are refundable so that you can take that money and put it in the right place when we announce the location for Passover, okay? With that, shalom, over to Patreon. I love you. Hey, the Most High's calling back Israel. You know we have to end it with song. Shalom. Come on, Patreon members. See you over there. Ahayah's calling back Israel. Oh, Patreon.
The East is where we're from. 12 tribes of Israel. In 721 BC, the Assyrian king, he took us down, we fell. With a great escape we went through the Euphrates. The Lord held the water still. To a land where no mankind dwelt, we went. The 12 tribes of Israel. So we be Manasseh, the Cubans, Ephraim from Puerto Rico, Naphtali from the Isles of Hawaii. The Lord is calling back Israel. Zebulon from Panama, Gad, the North American Indians, Simeon, the Dominicans. The highest gathering Israel. The Arabs and Africans told us at gunpoint to gather our wives and children and sold us. In the belly of these great ships we traveled in fear. By the rivers of Babylon we found our brothers here. A high gatherer in Colombia, Reuben from Australia, Issachar, the Mexicans. A high gathering